सुसेगाद दंपार पडोवणारांक म्हजो मायमोगाचो नमस्कार. हांव फ्रँकी फर्नांडीस, मेलबर्न, ऑस्ट्रेलियाचो तुमकां ह्यो गोंयच्यो खबरो कोंकणींतल्यान पावयता. आज मार्चाची 28 तारीख. गांवांत एक नवें सेक्स स्कॅन्डल हाचो खुलासो जालो. गांवच्या लोकां प्रमाणे हातूंत भारतीय जनता पार्टी हाचे कार्यकर्ता गुंतलेले आसात.
BJP Neta's predator's son, who has now been nabbed. Prajwal Revana's rerun that has now been witnessed in Goa. Another Neta's son in sordid sex assault saga, where BJP Neta's son, who sexually assaulted 25 to 30 minors allegedly. Accused Soham, who molested minors for 3 years. He is the son of BJP corporator who filmed sexual assaults of minors. Predator brat who threatened to leak these videos, and for the very reason that the victims were scared of speaking out.
गेल्ल्या 3 वर्सां हो 20 वर्सांचो तरणाटो 30 मायज गांवच्या मायनर चेडवांक बलात्कार करून तांचो व्हिडिओ काडून तांकां ब्लॅकमेल करतालो अशें गांवच्या लोकांनी आरोप केला. आनी गांवच्या लोकांचो दाब पडल्या उपरांत कुचोरे पुलिसांनी सोहम सुशांत नायक हाका अरेस्ट केलो. खबर मेळ्ळे ते प्रमाणे आरोपी सुशांत हाचे आवय आनी बापूय BJPचे कार्यकर्ता आनी कुचोरे म्युनिसिपालिटी कावन्सिल हाची कावन्सिलर म्हूण वावर करता. सद्याक 3 फॅमिलींनी पुलीस हांकां कंप्लेंट केल्या अशें पुलिसांनी सांगलां. ही केस सद्याक क्रायम ब्रांच चवकशी करता. पूण सुरवातीक जेन्ना हे सेक्स स्कॅन्डल हाचो खुलासो जाल्लो, कुचोरे भरपूर वेळ काडलो ही केस रेजिस्टर करपाक आनी आरोपी हाका अरेस्ट करपाक. हाकाच लागून गांवचो लोकांचो दुबाव, कांय कुचोरे पुलीस पॉलिटिकल प्रेशर हाका लागून फाटीं रावल्ले काय म्हूण.
The Kuchore news is a shocker. कारण 2 वर्सां जालीं वो चलत आसा बनशिली. It was thanks to the investigative journalism of Pudari and Pudari editor that brought out the story into the forefront. Complaint was filed on the newspaper item and a complaint filed by Pudari editor. So what happened is, for the police there was a little bit of hesitation. This was a local issue. Community is involved. Lok bad sattalo kaina. This was a problem. And with public pressure. And public pressure as Goans samko important zala. कारण काय जायना प्रेशर हाडले शिवाय. नॉट एट द पुलीस स्टेशन ओनली, पूण एनी इश्यू. लोकांनी फातर मारलो शिवाय काय एक जायना. आनी दीस शूड नॉट बी द स्टेट ऑफ अ डेमोक्रेसी. तांकां पुलिसेक मातशें हेजिटेशन जालें, ते वटेन लोक प्रेशरायज करतालो अरेस्ट कर म्हणून. सो फर्स्ट तांणी तो IT एक्ट एप्लाय केलो. हांवें म्हाका जेन्ना कळ्ळें की IT एक्ट एप्लाय केला आनी तातूंत भुरगीं आसा, देर आर चिल्ड्रन इनवॉल्व. इट इज नॉट अ सेक्स स्कॅन्डल. आनी सेक्स स्कॅन्डल हो शब्द वापरप, तातूंतल्यान कोणी पयस वतलो, नोबडी विल वॉन्ट टू कम एंड कंप्लेन बिकॉज इट्स अ सेक्स स्कॅन्डल. माय नेम विल बी स्पॉइल्ड, माय फॅमिली नेम विल बी स्पॉइल्ड. हो इश्यू गोंयांत आज पर्यंत चलत आसा. तर आमी वचून, म्हाका दिसलें की हांवें वचून पुलिसेक रिक्वेस्ट करचें की तूं पॉक्सो एक्ट आनी गोवा चिल्ड्रन्स एक्ट आनी हेर एक्ट लाय, कारण तातूंत मिक्स आसा. एडल्ट्सूय आसा आनी भुरगीं आसा. भुरगीं आसा ते गोश्टीक ते पॉक्सो एक्ट लावपाकूच जाय. दुसरी म्हणजे हे कंप्लेनाक वेळ जाला. हे चलत आसा 2 वर्सां. म्हणजे इमॅजिन, आतां ती भुरगीं वाडल्या, आतां ती फुडें येतली, आपल्याक कितें जालें तें सांगतलीं काय ना, हे हो एक इश्यू आसा. दुसरो म्हणजे ग्रुमींग, ऑनलायन ग्रुमींग जे चल्लां मोबायलाचेर, ताका लागून असले विकृती आशिल्ले भुरग्यांक किंवा दादल्यांक एक सपोर्ट जाता. ते ऑनलायन ग्रुमींग करतात भुरग्यांक, यू आर ब्युटिफूल, यू आर सेक्सी, यू आर दीस, यू आर दॅट. आनी मागीर एंड टुडे इन गोवा इट्स ऑल अबाउट ग्लॅमर. कोणा कडेन बायक्स आसा, कोणा कडेन कार्स आसा, आमी ताचेच बरोबर वचचें. सो वी कॅनॉट ब्लेम either the children who fell victims to this very dirty act, neither can we blame the parents, because parents are still living in the old age when you say that it's a shame for the family. Where is the shame for the family? We fight over an accident case, we go to the court, we are ready to spend money, and when our child body sexual abuse has been done, how can we remain silent spectators? सदांच ट्रबल जाता. Past 33 years हांव हें काम करता, पूण म्हाका होच ट्रबल जाता की पेरेंट्स फुडाकार घेनात कित्याक आपले भुरग्याक सुरक्षीत राखपाक. काय कितें चुकलां आमचें? पेरेंटींग चुकलां, PTAs चुकल्या, काय कोण चुकलां? कितें हें सगळें स्कूल around schools जाला. He was preying, he's a predator, preying on children in schools. And I'm sorry to say this, he's also not a very big man. So therefore somewhere his education has gone wrong. He's a pampered boy. ताका दिसता की आपल्या कितें जाय तें करचें आपणें आनी आपल्याक कोण धरपाना ना धरल्या काडटलो ना समाजीक कोण तरी येतले फुडें आनी म्हाका भायर काडटले कित्याक हांव रिलेटेड टू पॉलिटिक्स. एटिट्यूड जेन्ना भुरग्यां भितर आसता तो जावन तेन्ना ताचे वायट परिणाम समाजाचे. तर म्हाका म्हणपाचें आसा की डिले हांव तितली डिले जावं ना कारण म्हाका दिसता तो बॅकग्रावंड पळय आशिल्लो कम्युनिटी ती थंयच ती पुलीस स्टेशनाचेर येवन कंप्लेन करतले काय कितें हो इश्यू आशिल्लो पुलिसे समोर. आनी दुसरी म्हणजे इन्सिडेंट्स पळय घडल्यात ते फक्त ते ज्युरिस्डिक्शनाक घडूना तांणी भुरग्यांक हांगा थंय व्हेल्या आनी थंय फोटो मारल्या म्हणजे ज्युरिस्डिक्शन डिफर जाता. म्हणून ही केस क्रायम ब्रांचा कडेन दिली हे म्हाका एक वाटेन बरें दिसता कारण 3 PIs इन्वॉल्व आसा आतां ते भायर सुपरविजन आसा आनी लेडी पुलीस कोण जाय तो आसा हे केसेक आनी तांकां ज्युरिस्डिक्शन ऑल ओवर गोवा आसा. म्हणून सरकारान ही केस क्रायम ब्रांचा कडेन दिली आनी तेच कम्युनिटी कडेन ती दवरुना ते कम्युनिटी पुलीस स्टेशनचेर दवरुना हे एक वाटेन बरी गोश्ट. एक वाटेन ते विलेजरांक ते आवडूना कित्याक तांकां ते समजुना. हांव स्टेटमेंट घेवपाक खबर आसा की वेगवेगळ्यांचो अब्यूज जाला म्हणजे वेगवेगळे पुलीस स्टेशन 0 करून दुसऱ्या पुलीस स्टेशनला वेस्ट ऑफ टायम.
हे सेक्स स्कॅन्डल हाचो खुलासो जाल्यो उपरांत 30 मायज फामिली वो विक्टिम्स लोजेन कशे तरेन दीस सारता हाचेर गोंयकारांक एक प्रश्न पडला. पूण भारतीय जनता पार्टी हाचो मुखेली दामू नायक हाका गुन्यांवकारी सोहन सुशांत नायक हाचे आवय आनी बापूय जे BJPचे कार्यकर्ता आसा हांचो चड हुस्को जाला.
एक गजाल आसा बापूय जो आसा त्या बापायक भुरग्यांच्या संदर्भांतल्यान कितें जाहानी आसा जेन्ना जेन्ना असले खबरो जेन्ना कळटात तेन्ना लक्षांत येता की हें जालें तें खूपच वायट जालां आनी अश्यो वायट घटना खंयच केन्ना घडच्यो न्ही. तांच्या आवय बापायच्या सद्या स्थितीन वता आसतले ताजोय विचार.
आनीक म्हत्वाची खबर 2 दिसाक 5 गोंयकार आपली इंडियन सिटिझनशीप सरेंडर करता आनी पुर्तुगेज पासपोर्ट घेता. ही म्हायती प्रमोद सावंत हाणें गेल्ल्या विधानसभेची बसना जाल्यार तातूंत दिली. 2021 ते 2025 वर्सा मदें 8,425 गोंयकारांनी इंडियन सिटिझनशीप सरेंडर केल्या. तातूंतले 8,370 हाणें पुर्तुगेज पासपोर्ट घेतल्या आनी युरोपाक आमकां म्हायती मेळल्या ते प्रमाणे चडशे गोंय सोडून गेल्या ते आमचे क्रिस्तांव भाव भयण्यो आनी तांच्यो फामिल्यो. तर हाचेर गोंयचे आर्चडायोसीस हाचेर कसो असर पडटा आमी विचारलें फादर मॅवरिक फर्नांडीस डायरेक्टर Caritas Goa हाचे लागीं.
Speaking about this issue about relinquishing of citizenship from India, I would like to speak about it in a broader perspective. In fact, there are 23,000 millionaires have relinquished their citizenship from India in the last decade. The 3,500 millionaires have left the country in just 2025. So these are the bigger bracket, the larger bracket, who are not looking for a better life. They don't have a better life over here, but they have moved out for reasons they know best. Coming to Goa, the situation here, people are living from here, particularly the middle class and the low middle class, because I would say a systemic failure. In fact, the medical inflation today has reached so high that it becomes impossible for the middle class and low middle class. If someone gets a disease or illness, the entire savings are wiped out because the jobs are so scarce here. And moreover, the salaries that are received by our Goans are so limited that they are not able to afford a better life. The industries are diminishing. The tourism industry itself is suffering so much. And added to that, we find the loss of land. that the Goans themselves are finding it so difficult to purchase land in their own homeland because of the systemic failure that exists of how everything is opened up. In such circumstances, when we talk about people remaining within their homeland, the question can be asked, what type of homeland? The people cannot live a decent life. So migration becomes the only solution for them. Migration, the church views it in a positive way, not as sinful. Because migration has been traditionally looked where people move out for their growth. The Catholic social teachings speak about migration. So migration is not just looked as a personal gain, because a lot of people migrate not for themselves alone, for their families, their children, their parents, their siblings, for a better life. Through migration, a person does not actually lose his identity. I would say this very particularly about Goans. Goans, wherever they have gone, they have not lost Goa from their DNA. They've always carried Goa with them. And have come back to their roots or have given back to the state in different ways. I would like to say that the church stands with you, doesn't condemn you. But also the church wants to tell you that we will continue to fight and protect the systems here for a better way of life. Working for economic development, working for the rights of minorities, for development and for economic justice. And those who wish to stay can continue to do so. Carry Goa is my message to you. Don't forget your roots. In fact, Pope Francis very beautifully put it. He said, migration is a sign of times, and we need to view it with the compassion that is required.
खबर आतां पोंडा बाय इलेक्शन्स हाचे बाबतींत हे इलिसांवांत काँग्रेस बीजेपी आनी आम आदमी पार्टी हाचे उमेदवार लढतले. काँग्रेस पक्षाक हे फावटी रेव्होल्युशनरी गोन्स पार्टी तशेंच गोवा फॉर्वर्ड हाणें तेंको दिला. काँग्रेस पक्षासून डॉक्टर केतन बाटेकर, बीजेपीचो रितेश नायक आनी आम आदमी हाचो गितेश नायक हे इलिसांत लढतले. मतदान एप्रिलाच्या 9 तारखेक आनी ताचे उपरांत कावंटींग जातलें. पूण आम आदमी पार्टी हाणें आपलो उमेदवार ह्या बाय इलेक्शन्स हातूंत उबो केला आनी सगळे खुशाल ना. हातूंत अदीक करून आमचो आदलो आमदार एडवोकेट उदय बेंब्रे.
आम आदमी पार्टी आनी तिचे फुडारी हांकां इल्लोय स्वाभिमान ना वो ही पार्टी बीजेपीची बी टीम म्हणून काम करता अशें दिसता. आनी अशें दिसपाक कारण हे पार्टीची केंद्रांतली आनी तेच बरोबर गोंयांतली चलणूक. खरें म्हणत जाल्यार हे पार्टीक जर इल्लो पसून स्वाभिमान आशिल्लो जाल्यार तिणें बीजेपी सारकी पार्टी केन्नाच सत्तेर येवची न्हय असो प्रयत्न करूंक जाय आशिल्लो. उण्यांत उणें म्हळ्यार तसो हावेस तरी मनांत दवरूंक जाय आशिल्लो. पूण हो पक्ष तशें करता अशें दिसना. हातूंत कसलें शाणेपण आसा तें त्याच पक्षाच्या फुडाऱ्यांक खबर. फाटले विधानसभा वेंचणुकेंत आम आदमी पार्टीचो उमेदवार आशिल्लो आनी ताका 600 आनी थोडी चड मतां मेळिल्लीं, 600+. ताजे उपरांत ह्या मतदारसंघांत आम आदमी पार्टीन कसलेंच वावर करूंक ना. म्हणटकच ती मतां वाडटलीं अशें समजुपाक कसलेंच कारण ना. घडलें जाल्यार ती मतां उणी जातली. हें चित्र दोळे मुखार आसतनाय आम आदमी पार्टीन आपलो उमेदवार कित्याक दवरला? उमेदवार दवरपा फाटलीं 2 कारणां आसतात. एक कारण जिखून येवपाचें, कारण राजकारणांत जिखून आयले बगर, सत्तेर पावले बगर कांय करूंक मेळना. एक हावेस जिखून येवपाचो आसता, दुसरोय एक हावेस आसता. आनी तो दुसरो हावेस म्हणजे म्हाका नाका तुका नाका घाल सुण्याक म्हणटा तशें दुसऱ्याची वाट लावन जो नाका पक्ष सत्तेर त्या पक्षाक पालव दिवपाचें. आनी ज्युस्त हेंच काम आम आदमी पार्टी फोंडे मतदारसंघांत करता अशें दिसता.
कारितास गोवा हाणें गोंयचें पयलेंच सेन्सरी इंटिग्रेटेड गार्डन सालिगांव हांगा उक्तें केलां. गोंय आनी दामान आर्चडिओसीस हाचो आर्चबिशप फिलिप नेरी कार्डिनल फेरांव मुखेल सोयरे म्हूण आसले.
I am extremely happy that this day marks a milestone in the journey of service that Caritas has been rendering initially through this deaf-blind center in Saligao and later also through the deaf-blind center in Margao. And I'm happy to know that there is a sub-center in Birla. I must share with you frankly that till about 20 years ago, I myself was not conscious that there was this multiple disability. I was aware that there are persons who are deaf and dumb, who cannot hear, and because they cannot hear, that their speaking is impaired. It was only about 20 years ago that I learned through Caritas that there are persons who cannot see, blind, who cannot hear, and as a result of which who cannot speak properly. They may not be fully dumb, but their speaking is impaired. And because of this multiple disability, practically more than 85% sources of their knowledge, which come from seeing, hearing, are not functional. And I felt this service is such a witnessing service that Caritas has been rendering. And I'm so glad that almost 600 people with such multiple disabilities are being helped. And from what I've come to know, that Caritas is the only organization in the state of Goa that offers home-based services to children with multiple disability. About 4 days ago, I had the opportunity to visit this deaf-blind center with one of my German friends who has been helping partially some of the Caritas projects. And we went round. And the special educators explained to us the various things that they do to help our children, our young people with this hearing, seeing disabilities. And I was filled with profound gratitude. Gratitude to all our dedicated young special educators who reach out to these young people with so much love, so much dedication. I thank God for them. They are young people who are special educators here in Margao. I'm so grateful for their dedicated services because they are the hands, they are the feet of Caritas in rendering this witnessing service. But at the end of that visit, when that German friend of mine also was sort of blindfolded, he could not hear and he was asked to walk, I realized how grateful each one of us must be that God has blessed us with all the senses. Sometimes we can take for granted. I realized that day how difficult it is for a child who cannot see, who cannot hear, to understand what a spoon is. We never made any effort spontaneously. And therefore, for me, it was an occasion to thank God and to say, what can we, whom God has blessed with all the senses, do to reach out to our brothers and sisters who are not as lucky as you and I are?
New department that we have in the state of Goa, which goes by the name of Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities. Goa is one of the very few states which has recently announced, which has recently started with this new department for last 1 year. And there are various schemes which have been rolled out through this new department. And one such scheme I think Caritas should definitely be part of is the sheltered workshop, which Honorable Chief Minister announced in the last budget. We will roll out this scheme in few months, which supports vocational training for adults with disabilities, and it will provide all kind of support, right from vocational trainer to marketing and everything. I urge parents to also be part of this sheltered workshop, because we want the children to be economically independent at the end of the day. We want to see them living their own lives in a dignified way. Caritas has been doing a great job for deaf, blind, and other disabilities. To be very frank, we came across this disability for the first time in a big numbers when we hosted International Purple Fest in 2023. And Caritas was our partner in hosting this international conference on deaf-blind. And that's the time actually government and all the officials came to know the challenges that are being faced by the institutions like Caritas, and for all those NGOs who are working in disability sector, especially in this deaf-blind sector.
तर ह्यो जावन आसली आमचे सुसेगाद दनपार गोंयच्यो खबरो मेलबर्न ऑस्ट्रेलियासून. उगडास करता फुडल्या सुमारांत आमी आसचे ना, तर तुमकां सगल्यांक आदींच हॅपी इस्टर म्हूण आमी विश करता. मेळुया एप्रिलाच्या 11 तारखेक. देव बरें करूं.